Welcome to Small Business Celebration. We're continuing our series of small business owners that not only survived the last recession, but thrived from it. And our guest this week has been training Californians how to safely do that for years. This is Small Business Celebration. Join us as we learn from successful business owners and successful business leaders about who they are, from where their business has grown, what they have learned, and where their successful business is going. I'm your host, Michael I. Roberts, and we're going to learn something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business.
Hi, my name is Angel Cottrell, and I'm the CEO of Apollo Consultancy Group. I listen to the Small Business Celebration podcast because I enjoy learning more about all of the amazing accomplishments our local entrepreneurs and business leaders are achieving each and every day. Thank you so much, Michael Roberts, for starting this podcast and sharing all of these excellent accomplishments with each and every one of us.
Hi, Michael.
Dr. Laverty?
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
What is your name and name of your business, and what is it that you do?
I'm actually Dr. Ben W. Laverty III. And California Safety Training Corporation is a company I founded in 1985. And so we're approaching our 35th year anniversary.
Wow.
And we've grown, obviously. And we love what we do.
Now, for visionaries who don't know, what kinds of training do you do?
Most all training, but pesticide training, forklift training, crane training, CPR first aid training, violence reduction in the hospitals, like ER rooms and the like. We train people how to get out of a grasp without accelerating the situation. And we do hazard communication training. There's a myriad of training. Food safe, surf safe is another training we do for restaurants. And food handler training, again, that's in the restaurant arena. And HACCP training, the hazard analysis critical control point that we do for anybody touching food or dealing with food. Now,
behind you is a very interesting piece of artwork. Tell us what is this and how did this occur?
This is a masterpiece made by our entire staff.
What? Really?
And we had an artist come in, and each one of us were signed a square and given an easel, and we each did our own interpretation of what we thought it should look like. And then put it together as a composite, and that, therefore, is our company tree.
It's an amalgamation of the entire family.
Exactly.
Here at CSTC.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is a great visual representation of your family business working together.
Yep, it really is. Really is. It's the team concept, of which I'm very much a team person. There's no we.
Right.
There's no me. There's always a we. Always a we.
Sure.
Can't happen other than. And I don't remember which one's mine. But it was a ball to have that done, and everybody's kind of looking at everybody. It's like, what are you doing? You know?
Sure.
Different interpretation. They went on.
Now, you have also have done something very significant because you've been in business for 30...
It will be 35 years, December the 1st.
35 years. And in that whole time, you have been an A-plus rated Better Business Bureau. Accredited Business Bureau for 35 years?
Going on 35, but 34 plus.
Wow, that's significant because that's really hard to do.
Yep, and we have never had a complaint that had to go get resolved through Better Business Bureau. I resolve them myself.
Wow.
And I mean, if we're wrong, we take care of it.
Sure.
And I explain to other people, if my perspective, and they either like it or they don't. And we'll go on from there.
But this is very important because your business does a lot of training in a wide variety of industries with a wide variety of people. And anytime you're dealing with something with a lot of different people, a lot of different personality types, there's going to be a lot of conflict that has the potential to arise. So being able to do this for almost 35 years is a pretty big deal.
I think so. I'm proud of us being able to accomplish that. And so it's one of the highlights.
Very good. Now, one of the things that this also brings up is, and one of the reasons why Visionary Nation is interested in your business, is this is not the first recession you've gone through. You've been in this business for 35 years. And what did your business look like in 2007?
2007 was smaller.
Okay.
2007 was in a different facility on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And we still leased. We had not purchased this property yet. And we were not as computer grown, I'll call it. Even though we put money into technology as well as people, we really at that moment, or close to that moment, had decided we need to up our technology skills, which will make our people more efficient, which will mean we need less people.
Now, 2008, there was a big change. The market changed a lot. And how did your business change and look different in 2008?
Not appreciably.
Really?
Not in 2008, not appreciably.
Okay.
That was a bump in the road. I think it's changed more with our present challenges.
Okay.
Because people are afraid of their own health, not just their financial health.
Right.
Back then, the financial health of all of us was challenged.
Right.
And so we tightened our belt. And I say we tightened our belt. Our whole staff was much more careful with money. And we made it through that time because of our abilities to adjust and be open-minded to that adjustment and get through it.
And we'll talk about this later on in the show, but one of the things is being able to change and being able to keep up and being able to evolve. And we'll talk more about that later after the break. But one of the things I did also want to ask you about, because you have a wonderful facility here, you've got a great garden out in front, you got a wonderful environment to people to come into, but this is all about training. And everything from agriculture to medical to industrial. Why training? Why is this so important, especially in this day of COVID when we're trying to keep our distance? Why is this so important that Visionary Nation keep interested and know that training is key, especially in this period of time right now?
One, it's a smart thing to do.
Why is that?
Because the smarter your people are, the better decisions they will make, and the less they will get hurt and the more efficient you will be.
Especially in a time like this where efficiency is key.
And we've lost efficiency during this time, as we've taken chairs out of training rooms, and we've got big training rooms and small training rooms. We have also performed many more trainings live online for people.
In fact, you have a whole green room.
Yeah, we have a green room
with a green screen and computers and everything.
Yep. And at the same time, we can also train from our desks. There are 6 different training desks, if you will, or training areas. So we can respond quickly if people need training today.
Right.
And we don't need large numbers of people to justify the driving and the time to go get there, because we turn it on and go to training.
Sure. If Visionary Nation wanted to reach out to you and get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Through the web, through the telephone, through internet, in.
And what is your website address?
www.cstcsafety.com.
And what is your phone number?
661-343-1378. Now, that'll get you my cell phone. But 661-377-8300 will put you through the phone system.
Excellent. Well, let's go and have a seat in your office, and we'll talk more about how to grow a strong and profitable business.
Sounds great.
Are you getting the blue screen of death? Or worse, are you getting a black screen with white gibberish on it? Something that looks like it should be translated by an ancient Egyptian paleontologist? Have no fear. The highly trained staff at Bakersfield Bytes is here to serve you. As Kern County's #1 rated computer repair store, your business's computers are in good hands. Need to upgrade your computer? No problem. Need a stronger network? No problem. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 and keep the backbone of your business in tip-top shape. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 or at bakersfieldbytes.com. That's BakersfieldBytes.com. We're here with Dr. Ben Laverty, the owner of California Safety Training Corporation. And tell us, Dr. Laverty, you started your career in agriculture. And why did you go into safety because of agriculture?
I love growing things.
Uh-huh.
I love farming. My first degrees are in agronomy and horticulture.
Okay.
I became the tree superintendent at Belridge Farms, west of Shafter, near Bakersfield. And then from there, went to Idaho and became very wealthy in a very large operation of which I was a partner. Mm-hmm. And eventually went bankrupt for $68 million. Started over in a true bankruptcy. I mean, I ended up with an old car and a tiny bit of money and came back to Bakersfield. I did land development and international consulting. In the back over here is a picture of Presidente Moje, Costa Rica, where I did work for him. Uh-huh. Also worked for the Tree Cooperative in Morelia, Mexico, and also worked for the Green Revolutionary Society in Cairo, Egypt. So I've been all over the place, and then I've lectured to the senators in the Dominican Republic. And
so when are you going to start doing something?
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. No, and during the time, when I was going through the financial adjustment, people from Buttonwillow, who still are our clients today, by the way, came to me and said, Ben, you speak English and you speak Spanish, you know all the laws, and you're a nut. And yes, I speak English and Spanish fairly well.
Right.
And I am a student of laws because I've never wanted to violate them if I had any way not to do that. And I certainly am a nut. I don't, when I teach, I don't care about myself. I want the people to understand, and I teach in a way that the worker, regardless of his education and his language, has the ability to understand.
Now, your varied life and your varied travels and your interest in law, you have learned not just Spanish, but Mayan. Why did you learn Mayan, and what does that have to do with safety, and why is this such a key, important part of your life?
You're not very different from many people. They say, why do you speak Mayan? They're all dead. Well, one, that's wrong. Okay. We are taught wrongly in America that all the Mayans are dead.
Okay.
There are 1.6 million Mayans still living in Quintana Roo, very south Cancunish area, in northern El Salvador, northern Guatemala, and Belize. And I've always had an affinity for learning, and part of my learning came from my playing football at BYU. I studied very much the Book of Mormon and the Lamanites and the like, and that's threaded into the Mayan. That's why.
And you also learned Arabic, but not just Arabic, but Cairo Arabic. Was it for the same reason?
No. I was in Cairo doing work on their effluent plant, of which they had 11 million people all supplying effluent, their toilet water.
Okay.
And for some reason, I pick up languages very fast, and I'm very musically inclined. The only thing I haven't been able to pick up and just play is the violin. That kicked my rear, made me humble. But
It makes you marvel Itzhak Perlman.
yeah, exactly. And so I'm very musically inclined. I played the cornet in grammar school, the clarinet, the bass clarinet, and yet I can't read music and have never been able to read music.
Wow. Well,
Just never learned.
wow.
So I've had to, we've got a good guy here or a good person here, and it goes in this ear and then it comes out here, I'm able to do. And I think that's why I'm able to pick up languages very rapidly.
You also mentioned one of the things that you did was you had a $65 million bankruptcy.
68 million.
$68 million. What's $3 million between friends? But this was a great teaching moment for you because you literally lost everything. And you came back from that. Is this one of those things that that has affected the way you approach CSTC today and affects the decisions that you make today?
Absolutely.
How so?
If you got any money in the bank, it's not necessarily all your money, I've learned. Anybody you owe, you need to pay. And if you owe any taxes, you need to pay that. So whatever might be left is really your money.
Right.
So you're gambling with somebody else's money if you gamble high stakes when you don't really have that money or that financial backing. So I've been very careful with money, and I've grown very slow, which is different than most people. As the CEO, I asked my team of execs, our COO and the CFO, they look to me and say, where are our goals? And I want 6% growth. That's all I want.
Why 6?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
It's not too high,
Okay.
but at 6% growth, it is really closer to 9 or 10% growth because it's 6% on 106% on 112. And you see,
Right.
so you
got
look at it on the long term, it's really like 10% growth. Then we can continue to grow, which is a decent growth rate, and still keep our quality up. If you go for, and we've had these before, in 1991, where the regulations, 3203, Title 8, 3203 in the California Code of Regulations, said, oh, you can no longer have your safety program in your head and just communicate it verbally. July 1st, 1991, you had to write it out. And so we spent a lot of time preparing for that. So when it hit, we immediately grew a lot. And that really grew our written programs department, because we do have 3 departments.
Okay.
We have training, which is our largest money revenue stream. Then we have written programs. Then we have program audits and safety inspections, safety walkthroughs, some people will call them. But we've learned that program audits should occur so that we have all the paperwork that Cal OSHA, Fed OSHA, environmental health, and all the people who want to look at you will be satisfied. And then you look at the safety performance in your plant, on your farm, or in your office.
And you bring up something that's very key and important to all of this, which is, and this may be one of the reasons why your business has survived multiple recessions over the years, is that you have put a lot of thought and planning into the future. You've taken the long view on a lot of things, but you've also haven't been afraid to change things as there's a market downturn that's been going on with this.
Well, we adjusted our workforce, and whoever can work at home.
Right.
So, and we alternate them. So they work at home, but we still have the connectivity with our people, but at the same time, they work at home where theoretically it's safer. And we found some efficiencies and some loss of efficiencies in that.
Right.
You know, I mean, if the dog jumps over the fence, you go take care of it. Where if you're here, you don't do that.
Right.
But it's okay. we've also done a lot of computer training, online computer training. We don't have to be involved with it. We make the training module. We have people who dial in, put their email in. It changes it to match their company, and the people go through it. And when they get finished, they say, if there's any questions, call this number, us, and we discuss whatever questions they have. Additionally, we do live online, and we've pushed that for a while, probably some 10 years. We have a green room that you've seen, now stocked with half of our boardroom chairs because we've spread everybody out to social distance. And so we're doing a lot more training like that. That added benefit is we don't drive, we don't get a motel room, we don't have a lot of meals when we're out there on the road, and the people get to go home to their family every night. So those are benefits. Resistance, technology, not everybody is open to technology like I have become.
Right.
And I wasn't always open to technology. At one time, I would not allow CSTC to actually have a network. I said, you just take this floppy disk and go give it to that floppy disk. We call it the Nike network.
Right.
So you'd have to take it from place to place to share your information. And I've learned that it's okay as long as we've got good IT people.
Sure.
You know, and if you lose your quality in your IT, you may lose your whole system.
And one of the things you're also doing is, this is a habit, it sounds like, that you got into very early on. You know where your profits are, for which departments they're in. You know what's efficient, what's not efficient, because you're analyzing these various aspects of your business. And I imagine, yes, there is a certain amount of time and effort and expense in doing this. But now that you're in a recession like this, you know this program is more profitable than the others. We know that these changes we're having to make now are more efficient than others. But you've taken the time to study that. Give Visioneer Nation an idea on, in general, how you approach that analysis of what's efficient, what's not, what's profitable, what's not, and therefore able to make those kinds of adjustments.
Sure, easy. Delegate it to your children.
Okay.
Well, Ben the fourth, I'm Ben the third, Ben the fourth is our COO. So he analyzes people's efficiency from a time standpoint. Tara Laverty, my daughter, is our CFO, and she grinds all the numbers and spits them back out. And every Monday, the three of us, the three L's, if you will, have Zoom meetings and discuss the week before and what's going on and how are we into our credit line. That's zero, by the way, today.
Congratulations.
Yep, and it's been zero for going on a year.
Good.
And we've hustled to make it stay that zero. And but Tara, here's what it was last year. Here's what it was the year before. Here's what it was last week.
Right.
And so she could actually forecast. Now, August sometimes is a down month because many farmers are getting ready for harvest or are just into harvest.
Right.
So we have made adjustments to do business elsewhere or quickly do and help them to be efficient by going right out to their harvesters and stay out there all day as they do pre-harvest safety training. And it's worked very well for them and very complimentary from many of our agricultural clients.
Hi everyone, I'm Ann Hauser, Marketing Director for the Palms at San Lorenzo Senior Living.
Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Pitcher, local public and government affairs consultant.
This is David Collins with Commercial Trade.
Hello, my name is Chad Tongco, founder and CEO of Primaris Market Development.
What do these Visioneers all have in common? They send us a quick 30-second video with their name, the business with whom they're associated, why they subscribe to the Small Business Celebration program, and they emailed it to us at sbc@smallbusinesscelebration.com. Their videos all appeared on the Small Business Celebration program, and yours can too. Simply shoot a quick 30-second video with your name, the business with whom you're associated, why you subscribe to the Small Business Celebration program, and email it to us at sbc@smallbusinesscelebration.com. Your video could appear on the next Small Business Celebration program, and we look forward to seeing your video today. We're here with Ben Laverty, the president and CEO of the California Safety Training Corporation. And one of the things that you mentioned in our earlier conversation before the interview is that you're a toy freak.
Yep, I'm not afraid to try something new.
Okay.
And at the same time, I'm somewhat of a, not a reactionary, but a preparer.
Okay.
Being a Boy Scout,
Okay.
Be prepared.
Right.
For an example, I think I used that in our conversation earlier. The agricultural nighttime work is going to go into effect in July 1st. I've been working over a year on different lighting systems, whether they be a headlamp or onto your gorra, your baseball cap, and or whether you have floodlights or for everything. So we've been looking at the problem to try to find an answer. And I can't tell you that we have an answer even yet, because I think if you have the lights that are required by Cal OSHA, I think I demonstrated earlier to you,
Right.
that if I'm looking at the fruit or the tree or the vine, and I turn around to you and say, well, how's yours over there? I may very well blind you for that moment.
Not very well, you did.
Yeah, okay, but at least I did a good job at something, right? And so those are the kinds of problems that I can see.
Right.
So I look at all those things.
One of the things that you are also very good at, in addition to complimenting your children for all the work that they do, is forecasting what's coming down the road. And this is something that's very key for a lot of business owners, to be able to forecast what's coming down the road in their industry. Now, there's some things that you can't. Nobody back in December could have forecasted we'd be dealing with a COVID issue.
True.
But there are a lot of things that you can control, things that you can see that's coming. What is the approach that you take in doing just that, and being able to see the issues that are coming down the road so that you can help your clients and your customers?
Absorb every piece of information you can and realize that it very well may be relevant. Additionally, if there are discussions about new regulations, they offer us to come and testify at the various committees. And we've done that very much, trying to help bring some sort of common sense and reasonableness to the regulations. So we're already actively working with them or against them, I'm not sure which. We're working to try to bring common sense to regulations as they're coming down. So I think that being in the river and swimming makes you kind of aware of where the current's going. That's the way I think to put it. And so it's something we live every day. Now, if people run a different business than a safety business, they're swimming in a different creek or river. And so and our job is to, in advance, know where we're going to go, whether it was the 3203 Injury and Illness Prevention Program in writing, way back when, decades ago, or whether it's the lighting today, or whether it's the room temperatures tomorrow. So we're looking at those, so when they come, we're prepared, therefore our clients will be prepared.
One of the other things that I especially appreciate about you is the way you answer the phone.
Yeah, I'm Irish and I'm German. So I've got to have a little bit of blarney and quippiness in you, I guess.
And give Visionary Nation a taste of how you answer the phone.
Well, the people you call them say, "Hi, how are you?" And they'll say fine, and then they'll go ask me, "How are you?" And I'll say, "Well, I'm another day older. I'm a little more bald, but I am looking at grass from the green side. Therefore, I'm alive, And that makes this a great day.
And that is a point of view, a perspective of life.
I guess when you die every 2 or 3 years, you kind of form that new idea about life. I have had several challenges over many years, including when I was very young, at 19 or 20, and those have continued. So if you're full throttle, you're bound to have a crash or nick a tree once in a while.
But that perspective has also helped your business in this current recession.
Oh, absolutely.
How has your approach of another day older, you're still alive, and the grass is still green, affected the way you and your business operates through a recession where there's a lot of business owners that, quite frankly, just trying to hold on for dear life?
I think first, and backing that up, was to be prepared. Back to the Boy Scout thing.
Right.
And part of my reasoning, I don't know if you remember, but in Genesis it talks about the 7 fat cows and the 7 skinny cows.
Right.
Well, in the 7 years, everything was great for the Pharaoh, and then for 7 years subsequently, they were 7 bad years. So I kind of looked at that and said, okay, when we're doing well, let's prepare and make sure we're solid financially. Because if you want to borrow money, you have to borrow money when you don't need it.
Right.
That's something that everybody needs to understand. Because if you wait till you need money,
There's no
people
money.
don't want to give it to you.
Right.
All right. So if we were prepared, and I told you about my financials dives and climbs out and all that stuff. I'm one of the founders of Mission Bank. I'm a little founder,
Right.
but I'm one of the founders. And so my money's in Mission Bank. So that if I need my money to help keep my business afloat, I can do that.
Right.
And when this COVID-19 thing hit, and people were talking about laying off, cutting hours, cutting wages, and all the things and strategies that people use, I gathered all the people, not in the same room, over the Zoom,
Right.
but they all took their smartphones and attended. And I said, here's my plan. I said, I'm not cutting your hours. I'm not cutting your wages. I want you to work as hard as you can. I do want you to tighten your belt during this time. And so don't spend money you don't have to spend, and be careful, and so on. And again, it's the team concept that I have. It's the we, never a me. And everyone responded. And we thought we would lose money, and we calculated how much money we could lose for how long. And I told them, I will keep going until I can't go anymore. And at that point, we have to shut the business.
Right.
So far, and I must knock on wood, you can see wood on my desk because I cleaned it for you, is that we've made $400 in one month and $1,000 in another month. So all the people who depend on this company to maintain their life and their families so far haven't had to suffer.
What is one thing that Vision Your Nation can do today to grow a strong and profitable business?
Have a plan. We have a business plan. Look at it often and see if you're straying away from it. Be careful with your money. We make decisions, and I have funny things that I do, okay? If I can't pay for something in 90 days, don't buy it. Unless it's 0% interest. Because I'm now working on somebody else's money.
Right.
While I'm using the asset to make money. So that if we have, whether it's a monitor, if we can pay for it, justify paying for it 90 days through our work, we buy it. If not, we rent it. So we don't get capital intensive in buying a bunch of things,
Right.
even though my toys are exception to that. They don't necessarily have to have a payout in 90 days. And some do. Some of them do very well. If you can give what people need, provide what need, people call it a niche. When I first started in CSTC, there was me and one secretary. Then we expanded. I had 2 secretaries. Then there was 3 secretaries and 2 cars, because I was on the road all the time. They'd pack one, unload that, and I'd go in, sign the checks, and get on the road again and go on. Half my business was done on the phones. This was before cell phones.
Okay.
But a lot of my business was done on the phone. And I'm sure it was done through Bluetooth. I don't think they had Bluetooth back then, but that's okay. So, a lot of what I did was driving down the road, going to the next place to do a job. And as I've hired people, I've learned, again, by making mistakes. I've asked them, I'm the last person now that gets to see them. And they get this speech. Everyone that's ever worked at CSTC, including my grandchildren who sometimes do part-time work here, said, number one, you got to be honest with me and honest with yourself. We're not going to get rich in this business. This isn't going to make you Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. But you're going to be rich in the help that you can give to many, many people, both as employers and employees of them, that you're able to assist. And number 2, and as important, is you've got to care about people. If you don't care about people, you cannot do this business, because they'll look right through you and they'll realize that you're just talking and you're not changing or motivating them. And number 3, you got to be capable. If you give me 1 and 2, I can fix 3. And that's what I tell every person that's ever come here. And so they shadow somebody, we send them to school. As long as they've got the personality that cares about people and they're honest, and we change it. And we've got several people have gone on and graduated from universities and become CSPs and become safety professionals in their own right. And we've paid for their college education while they're here. We assist them in doing that.
And most importantly, you have a very colorful tree in your lobby.
We do. And I'll tell you, the diversity we have here is really, really to our benefit.
Right.
We have people that were born in Mexico, came here, through a long process, became citizens. We have some who came from Mexico the first time, and some have picked fruit, some have driven tractor, some have worked in the oil fields. One of them has actually worked in retail. So they bring a different complement that shares with the rest of the people. And it makes us as a whole, every one of us, better, and it makes the whole better.
Dr. Laverty, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for your wisdom and your insight and joining us here on Small Business Celebration. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Are you getting the blue screen of death? Or worse, are you getting a black screen with white gibberish on it? Something that looks like it should be translated by an ancient Egyptian paleontologist? Have no fear. The highly trained staff at Bakersfield Bytes is here to serve you. As Kern County's #1 rated computer repair store, your business's computers are in good hands. Need to upgrade your computer? No problem. Need a stronger network? No problem. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 and keep the backbone of your business in tip-top shape. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 or at bakersfieldbytes.com. That's Bakersfield, BYTES.com. Who is a visioneer? A visioneer is a business leader who is a pioneer that has vision. A visioneer is someone willing to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. and is willing to do something about it. A Visioneer is ethical, smarter, faster, and leaner than the mainstream competition. A Visioneer gives value first because Visioneers are in the business for the long haul. Visioneers understand the difference between saving money and earning a profit. Visioneers define their destiny. Visioneers create their own luck. Visioneers surround themselves with successful, like-minded people. Visioneers are renegades who defy the mainstream competition and are ready to change the world. Are you a Visioneer? Join the Visioneer tribe with Small Business Celebration on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today.